Good morning. I'm Barry Bryson, and we're continuing our study of the book of Hosea during our 5 good minutes. It's part of our larger study of the writing prophets of the Northern Kingdom. So thank you for joining me today. We're in chapter 13. Chapter 14 is brief, and it is the glimpse of hope. And then, after God stops speaking, the prophet himself, Hosea, gives one wise verse, this little two couplets really that teach us to apply the book. But in chapter 13, we have reached the climax of God's prosecution and his judgment and the description of punishment. So right now we're going to read verses 1 through 8, and then we'll finish chapter 13 tomorrow. When Ephraim spoke, there was trembling. When Ephraim spoke, trembling, he exalted himself in Israel, but through Baal he did wrong and died. And now they sin more and more, and make for themselves molten images, idols skillfully made from their silver. All of them work the work of craftsmen. They say of them, let men who sacrifice kiss the calves. Therefore they will be like the morning cloud, like dew which soon disappears, like chaff which is blown away from the threshing floor, like smoke from the chimney. Yet I have been Yahweh your God since the land of Egypt, and you were not to know any God except me. There is no Savior besides me. I cared for you in the wilderness, in the land of drought. As they had their pasture, they became satisfied, and being satisfied, their hearts became proud. Therefore they forgot me. So I will be like a lion to them. Like a leopard, I will lie in wait by the wayside. I will encounter them like a bear robbed of her cubs. I will tear open their chests. I will also devour them like a lioness, as a wild beast would tear them. There are two sections in chapter 13, each ending in the rending and dismemberment and death of God's people, and in violent, very violent terms. Um, um, it's unclear about Ephraim speaking and trembling, what that means. Were they trembling in their worship to Baal? Were they trembling in their fear of Baal? Did others tremble at their voice because they're a powerful nation in this moment? I'm not sure, but any of those could be possibilities. But what is clear, they exalt themselves. When times are good, they puff themselves up and they become idolatrous. Through Baal, they did wrong and died. They sinned more and more. They've died in the past because of their worship of Baal, but soon as times get good, they start worshiping Baal again. These things that were made and made by master craftsmen and made of precious metals, that's not God. And yet they say, and you can hear them, it's just probably we get a glimpse into part of their worship as they're sacrificing, kiss the calves, kiss the calves. And so these silversmith productions, these calves that have been made as idols, they kissed them when they sacrificed to them. And God said, so, you're not puffed up anymore. You are going to evaporate. You're going to be gone and gone quickly, like a morning cloud, like the dew, like the chaff blown away from the threshing floor, like smoke from a chimney. You are going to dissipate. And chaff, doesn't it bring you back to Psalm 1, which has already been written? Psalm 1, the wicked are not so, but they're like the chaff which the wind drives away. And 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 God then saying, but I'm the one. I'm the one. God's still saying to them, I'm the one. I'm the God who brought you up out of Egypt. I'm the one who who gave you water from the rock, who gave you manna from heaven, who brought quail into the camp. You were in the Sinai desert and you ate like kings because I provided for you. And you should have no God beside me because there is no Savior beside me, no rescuer but me. But when they became satisfied, their hearts became proud, and they forgot me. So now God's a lion. In fact, God said back at the end of chapter 11 he was going to roar like a lion and call them home. But now he's not roaring like a lion. He's not Simba, you know, returning home at the roar of his father's call. That's not what's happening here. He's the predatory beast. He's the apex predator, the skilled predator of the veld. He is the leopard. He is the lion. Worse than that, he's they're going to be torn like by an animal like a mother bear, a mama bear separated from her cubs. Um, devour them like a lioness, like a wild beast, like a bear robbed of her cubs. That's I'm not recommending the movie for many reasons, but there's a scene in the Revenant in which a mama bear, a mama grizz gets separated from her cubs, and the main character is in between a mama bear and her cubs, and it's one of the. Let me take that back because I don't watch violent movies. It's the most violent thing I've ever seen, and I'm sure it's real. And that's the image God is conjuring up. Um, this is what's going to happen to you. And yet it's not as violent as what he's going to say at the end of the chapter that we'll read next time. We're going to pick up with chapter 13, verse 12 next time. Thank you so much for joining me for another 5 good minutes with the Word.